Hi there, it's Sarah from Inspire Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Let's see what message the Spirit has for us. The King of Swords and Justice. So the King of Swords has a tendency to be kind of fiery. He can be a bit overly intellectual and likes to win at all costs. And this is a lesson that we need to learn on our spiritual path, that we think, I think I used to be much the same, and I'm sure it still comes up every now and again, that we have this tendency to want to outwit people or to be clever and to use our intellectual power to get one over on each other. But that's just another ego trap. It's what the ego wants us to do. It wants us to try and win and get one over on our brothers and sisters, but then that never feels good, because it just it kind of reinforces the fragmentation. And if we have to win at the cost of someone else, then we're going to feel that disharmony, and it's not going to feel good. We might feel some temporary relief, but essentially it's kind of a lower level consciousness feeling of power, and it never quite sits right. And we can feel that in our bones, in our gut, whenever we have an issue with somebody. It doesn't feel good, and that we then want to strive for that higher emotional state. And with the Justice card, we're always being shown that we reap what we sow, and if we are doing something that makes us kind of take a superior stance over someone else, then it'll come back and bite us. And not because that the universe is cruel, but because it's just a lesson that we need to learn, and that's how the laws of nature teach us. We have complete freedom. God gave us complete freedom to create as we will, and if we choose to take a bite from the proverbial apple, then we have to pay the consequences. But the universe will show us and correct us that we reap what we sow, and eventually, when we've made this mistake enough times, and we have to learn this lesson. The Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is all about rest and recuperation, and quite often, I mean, we think of this card as someone physically lying down to take some rest, but it could just be that we retreat back into the mind to understand the error of our ways, and that even though we feel like we won the argument, we didn't win the war, and that we don't really want a war at all. And we just need to take some time out and really contemplate this and realise that it's not what we want, that we want harmony. I've just realised that the first card that came out was the King of Swords, not the Knight of Swords, and now we've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the King of Swords, well, I'll read the King of Swords instead, seeing as we've done the Knight of Swords. So the King of Swords is usually very uncompromising, a very discerning and just more mature, so he's learnt how to wield his sword, or how to use the mind in a way that's productive and helpful, and just supports people. Somebody very discerning, good at communicating, very logical, with justice very much at the forefront. And yeah, I believe this seems to be the theme in these cards, that it's kind of about just learning on our path what's right and what's wrong. And it's not really about what's right and wrong, it's in form. It's always about choosing peace, choosing harmony, choosing to turn the other cheek. And the King of Swords knows this. He knows it. He's learnt it, and he's very powerful and doesn't mess around. The Three of Coins. So the Three of Coins is about working together as a team. We can see here in this card that they've kind of, it looks like they've got a ball in the air, or a few balls in the air, and they're required to work together as a team. And if there's any kind of not communicating well, or one person doesn't pull their weight, then this ball's going to drop. And it's just a powerful symbol, really, this card, of that we need to work together as a team, and we need to sing from the same song sheet, and when we don't, everything goes wrong. But the Spirit will always remind us. And whenever we're doing something in a team, we can actually pray together, and if we all get the same answer, then we know that we're on track. And there is only ever one fulfilling answer for every scenario, and we just need to tap into it and find it. And then the joy and the satisfaction then that we experience, because we all feel connected, and the task will naturally play out well because it's aligned. When we're aligned with the mind in that helpful way, then it's all good. It's all good. It feels good. And if it feels good in the mind, then it'll feel good experientially too. How many cards have we got here? Oh, perfect amount. So the Judgment card is all about being upgraded and integrating. And this happens whenever we have some sort of altercation with someone, or some fight or conflict in the mind, then we're always given the opportunity to level up. And every time we calm down and realign with the truth, and reflect on ourselves, then we do move forward in our purpose, and every small win is important. And the Queen of Swords is very much about embodying truth and balance. She's very fair, and she speaks the truth. She's very authentic. She's a straight shooter, and she doesn't mince her words. And I think sometimes this quality can be lacking, or it can be wielded in a way that's not kind, where somebody is very snarky. So the Queen of Swords is where we have a definite talent for diplomatically speaking our truth. And the Moon talks about our shadows and our illusions, and the Queen of Swords is highly likely to point these out, to notice them in herself, but also to point them out in others. So this quality can be quite triggering for some people, but at the same time it's very helpful to have someone around us who speaks the truth and lets us know when something's not right, you know, that when there's something within us that we need to see. And then we need to find that balance again with the Temperance card. So the Temperance card is all about balance and moderation and thinking. And if we get upset or wound up about something, then we always need to come back to that balance. And remember that with every single situation and scenario in life, that we can always move on to calmer waters. So we tend to think of this Six of Swords card along the lines of some great tumultuous experience, but it could just be a sign of the fact we had an altercation and an upset, and we've come through it, and now we're moving on. So it can be very much like a release of a baggage or a rite of passage, just that we level up and heal in the mind, and that we learn from every little misunderstanding and mishap brings us closer to our truth if we understand. So the mind is very powerful, and there's lots of mind cards. It's a very mind focused reading. I like it. I think it's been good. Anyway, I hope it helps, and I love you all. Bye.